everyone, my name is Amoa. I am a valuation and estate surveyor. I'm also the CEO of BDZ Properties Limited, where we do real estate construction, valuation of properties, property brokerage, and of course, facilities management.
Hi, Lorraine.
How are you?
I'm good.
How's it going? Good to see you. Thank you. Good to see you.
Today we're on a site. Last time we had the opportunity to go and see one of your other properties that you were managing, and today we are on a construction site. So tell me more about where we are today.
So today we are at Herndon Heights, located at West Trassaco, in East Legon, behind Adringano. Yeah, so this is a development that consists of 2 and 3 bedroom apartments. Yeah, that's coming up. It started not too long ago, and hopefully by March 2026, it will be ready and on the market.
Amazing. I didn't know today we'll be coming to a site. I came in my slippers, and today I managed to exchange.
My bad. I should have told you.
My trainers. Guess whose trainers I'm wearing right now? The person behind the camera.
It's all good. It's all good.
Yes, indeed.
Yeah, it looks good on you.
Well, now we had to come correct in the gear. That's really important. I heard that now you're into construction.
Yes, I am.
So I think that's a really important thing, that you make sure that, you know, especially when you're coming to a site, that there's safety first.
Safety first, always, always.
So she was like, Lorraine, take this, and change those. Like, wow, okay, I see. You see?
Yeah, now you're protected.
You see? Amen. Protected. But tell us more about BDZ and what you guys do.
Yeah, so BDZ is a real estate company. It started off as a facilities management company, and then now we do valuation of properties. We do, of course, facilities management. We do brokerage, that's sale and rental of property, and now construction.
Amazing, amazing indeed. One thing that you're renowned for in the country of Ghana is especially the skill and the profession of valuation.
Right.
So I think you were trained in valuation and valuer. You're also a professor, you also lecture at universities as well, educating the masses on how they can get into real estate properly as well. So just tell us about, the last time we had a sit-down interview, you enlightened me about the various aspects of the surveillancy practice. So we learned about the quantity surveyor, a valuer. Just talk us through those again, just so we understand that practice of the importance of surveillancy.
Right. So for the benefit of those who didn't watch our last interview, and they should go watch it, by the way, I was just explaining to you that sometimes when somebody says a surveyor, then, you know, they are looking at those who stand by the roadside with a tripod stand. And so what everybody has to know is that when we say surveyor, there are 3 groups of people that fall under surveyor. We have the quantity surveyors, we have the valuation and estate surveyors, and then we have the land surveyors, right? So for the quantity surveyors, what they do is to give a costing of a project even before you put it up. So if you want to, let's say, put up a 4-bedroom house, 3-bedroom house, the quantity surveyor will give you an idea how much it will cost to put up that building. So well, they did. I remember KNUST, they had to do building technology. The courses have changed a little bit since I last left, but you do that. If there are any additional courses, I'm not very sure about, but I know building technology is the course. You do that, then you do 2 years with the Ghana Institution of Surveyors, where you understudy somebody in a evaluation firm. I'm sorry, in a quantity surveying firm for 2 years. You come out, and then you are a chartered and certified quantity surveyor. And then there are the valuation and estate surveyors, of which I am one. So I did land economy. These days they've added BSc real estate, you know, for your first degree. You do that, and then you do 2 years understudying somebody in a valuation firm and attached to Ghana Institution of Surveyors. So once you pass out, you become a valuer or evaluation and estate surveyor. And then the last group of surveyors is the land surveyors. They do geomatic engineering, geodetic engineering.
Okay, the word she has confused me already.
So yes, they are the ones who pick the coordinates.
Okay, so like if we had land here, you'll be able to like pick up coordinates.
They will pick the coordinates.
These areas. Okay.
Exactly. Prepare a site plan, let you know the size of the land, all that stuff. They are the land surveyors.
Okay.
Yeah, so for valuers, what we do is evaluation. After a property has been put up, then we determine the value.
I
it's as
see.
simple as that. Yeah.
So tell me, how do we've seen your, so you said these are a combination of 2 and 3 bedroom properties.
Yeah.
So typically, how would you go about valuing a property?
So for residential properties, really there's a method we use there are about 3 or 4 different methods of valuing property, depending on the type of building, the purpose of the building. So usually for residential properties, there's a method we use called the depreciated replacement cost method, right? And the premise of that is that nobody will pay for a property for more than it actually costs to put it up.
Right.
Simply, that's what it means.
Yeah.
So that's how we go about it. We value the land, and then we value the structure on it.
Yeah.
And then we take out depreciation from just the structure, not the land.
Oh, okay.
And when we are done, we just add the value of the structure and then the land to come up with.
And generally, what's the importance of somebody actually getting a valuer in to purchase their property? Should we have a look? Actually,
yeah, sure. Let me take you on a tour.
Okay.
Let me take you on a tour. So it's very important. I mean, usually Ghanaians fall on valuers when they have to take a facility from the bank.
Okay.
But that is not all that they should be looking out for before they look for a valuer. Usually when you are buying a property, it is okay to ask a valuer for their opinion, to get a valuation report, so that you use it as a bargaining chip. Right. There's been instances where a client wanted to buy a property and the owner of the property quoted so much.
Right.
And they came to me for a valuation report and we realized that the margin was like so huge. Right.
Okay.
So this client presented the valuation report to the owner of the property and they were able to negotiate and get a good deal.
Right.
So yeah, it shouldn't always be
you just take the price that the seller has told you, but rather use the professionals that are there to help you to actually verify that the price of the property you're paid is actually worth the price of the property.
And mind you, what we pay the valuer is nothing compared to the difference.
It's true, So it will save you money in the long run.
It will save you money. It will save you money, yeah.
So right now we're on the first floor of the apartment.
This is the first floor, So these are 3-bedroom apartments. Yeah, so each one has a total of about, I think 145 square meters. Yeah, so there's a hall, the living area, then there are the bedrooms, and then the washrooms. So this is a really good area. Like, it's in, West Trassaco. Even just to have the name Trassaco in your address. It's value enough.
It's value enough,
Right.
So tell us more about the amenities that will be provided.
So there'll be a swimming pool over here. And then there's going to be a playground.
Nice.
There's going to be top-notch security and facilities management over here. And the 2-bedroom apartments are going to be here. These are luxury 2-bedroom apartments, actually.
Luxury.
Because
have you saved one for me?
I'm sorry?
Have you saved one?
Yes, a special one for Lorraine with a special discount.
I thought you were just giving it to me.
We'll talk about that behind the scenes.
I'm joking. She said she said we get special discounts. So you heard her, right? Right. So the 2 beds are there, and then these ones here are like the 3.
Yeah, the 3 beds.
Amazing. So generally, for people that are coming from the diaspora or people that haven't purchased property in Ghana before, what generally are some of the key things that they should look out for before they even purchase?
Yeah, so I think you should do your research, right? More than anything else. You should know the trends in the real estate market in Ghana. Find out, the cost of the kind of property that you want to buy in the area, how much averagely the price is going so that you're not shortchanged or anything of the sort. And if you are using it for an investment, make sure that you are getting a good return on investment. I keep telling people that if you are getting a property for investment, it shouldn't be a sentimental purchase.
Right.
You should buy taking into consideration how much you are getting on it. It's purely business. It has to make financial sense.
Yes.
Right. So you look at, the cost of the property.
Yeah.
You look at outgoings.
Yeah.
Get your net operating, income. You divide it by the value of the property. You get your yield or the capitalization rate. The difference between the yield and the capitalization rate or cap rate, that word is always is a mouthful.
Yeah.
Is for the yield, you divide the net operating income by the price.
Okay. Let's use an example,
Okay. So let's say one 3-bedroom apartment here costs 220,000 USD, right? Okay. So that's the value.
Right.
Or let me say that's the price of the property. Yeah. Now you calculate your returns. How much a 3-bedroom in West Trassaco should rent for, right? Okay. So you calculate that for the month. You multiply by 12 together for the year. That would be your gross income. Then you subtract your outgoings.
Right.
So common area maintenance fees, property management fees, taxes, all that you need to subtract. You take it out. That becomes your net operating income.
Right.
Then you divide that by the price. That will give you the yield.
The yield.
Right. So that is similar to the cap rate. But with that, you divide the NOI or the net operating income by the value. Value is different from price.
You see? I mean, so for example, you might come as a valuer and say, rather than the price they're quoting of 220,000, it's actually worth
240,000.
Exactly.
Or 200,
or
whichever
200,
way.
less or higher, you know?
Right.
And so then you would take that as a capitalization rate.
Exactly, that becomes, and the cap rate is used to compare investment. There's a myth, right, that most properties in the high-end areas have a higher yield than those in the low to middle areas.
It gets deep here.
Yeah, there's that myth. But then to actually find out, you have to compare using the capitalization rates for both areas. You'll be surprised that you find out that a property in the low to middle income areas has a higher yield than one in the high end area.
And is that also to do with, if we look at potentially the occupancy rates that you could get in the low to mid?
It has everything to do with the occupancy rate, because in the high end areas, there are more periods of void than in the middle to low income. I keep saying that deficit we keep talking about in housing is here in the middle to low income areas. So here in the middle to low income areas, the void is not, once you put a property on the market,
somebody
it gets taken.
Getting it.
Even before a tenant moves out, there's a demand for it.
Right.
By the high end areas, not everybody has that kind of money to be paying in dollars. So the periods of void are a lot. So usually the percentage is high. The percentage that you represent as void is higher than in the low income areas. So you have to do that comparison. So if you are looking to buy property here in Ghana, do that. Compare properties, compare, incomes and all of that. Don't just be sentimental. Oh, airport, I need 2-bedroom apartments in airport. Let me go get that. That kind of thing. And then I keep telling people in the diaspora, like, make sure you visit the property at least once before you purchase the property, because most people sit out there, ask friends and family to come view the property. They come down and they realize that this is not a good representation of what I was giving, and it's always a problem. I get that a lot. So make sure that at least once, come see the property, come assess the road network that leads to the property, the amenities, all of that, And then lastly, get a good property manager. Because you can't be in the diaspora and be managing a property over here, And a property manager saves you a lot of money, if you get a good one.
Do you do property management?
Of course we do. Did I not mention that? Oh, my bad. let them see. That's right. Big Easy Properties.
So if you're looking for a property manager, you know who to call. And they've been in the game for a long time. I think it's over a decade. Over a decade. I was right. I know my things. It's over a decade they've been in the market. So what have you actually seen over that period of time? It's 12 years now. The change in terms of trends for real estate in Ghana. So right from the locations that people used to invest in, and now where are they invested in? Can you maybe shed some light on that?
Yeah. So I keep saying that real estate is a growing industry. There'll always be demand for housing, you know, and so yes, people keep buying property. Gone are the days when it used to be, you know, concentrated in, like I was saying, the high-end areas. But now Accra is expanding. You know, there are emerging areas.
Right.
A place like East Legon Hills, we used to call it an emerging area, but now I think that it's emerged. It is emerged.
It's emerged. Emerged. It has birthed.
I know, right?
It's emerged now.
I know. So you know, all those areas, Oyarifa, Oyibi. You know, I attended a Girls Secondary School.
Oh,
right?
did you? My mum used to go there.
Oh, she did. Yeah. So the point I'm trying to make here is that those days when I was going to school, when we go past Adenta, it was all bush till you get to a Girls. But now
it's high end now.
People are asking for dollars in Oyarifa, you know, even at Mensa, you know. So I mean, it's the trend. Accra is expanding, really. Accra is expanding.
So just to round it up in terms of just advice for people that are, you've said that, you know, people need to do their research, they need to make sure that they get the right professionals. But, you know, are there any typically like final words from you when it comes to why people should actually invest in Ghana and real estate in Ghana?
Yes, because we have about the highest yield in Africa. Our yield now is about what? Like 12, 15%. Yeah, and that's a good deal. I mean, it's a good deal. So yes, come. But make sure that you do your due diligence, get the professionals, you know, to work with. And that is how you realize the return on the investment. You know, people say, again, let me say that there's a myth that real estate will always appreciate. But that's not the case.
Okay.
Land will always appreciate, but the property itself will depreciate if you do not
maintain.
Thank you very much. You know, for land, it will always appreciate. That is why even in valuation, right, we don't subtract depreciation from the land.
Because the land is the one that's there. But your property, the structure might do this, you have to refurb, like, I get it, it makes sense.
So acquiring a real estate investment asset is not just, you know, looking for cash flow, but it also involves maintaining it, making sure that you maintain it right to be able to realize the return that you're looking for.
In other words, if somebody is buying something, don't just budget for just the property price itself, but budget also for maintenance costs and upkeep and
upkeep, and all of that,
Amazing insights from Miss Abba herself. I'm so thankful that you joined us again, giving us, you know, always update of what's happening here on the ground in Ghana. And we're here at a property that I'm sure if it's going to be luxury and it's in West Trassaco, it's going to be a beautiful property. So we'll share some more information about what the property has to offer as well and the prices. So that if you're interested, please do get in touch and I'll pass you over to Abba as well. And other than that, I'm sure we'll definitely have another interview sometime soon.
We should.
You know, so
we should. So, Lorraine, we should.
And we hope to see you in London soon as well.
Very soon. Very soon.
We'll do that. So Abba, thank you so much for joining me today.
Pleasure is mine.
Really appreciate it. Have a great one. Bye.